So Eastern Michigan obviously was absolute ass last year.
You say that, but like, were they the worst 6-6 team you've ever seen? I was
Ever.
stunned to like realize they made a bowl game. Like when they were in a bowl game.
Well, did you
probably
see
the
their
worst team
wins though?
Well, yeah, but still, 6-6 is 6-6.
What's their best win? What's
Let
their
me
best
pull it
win?
back
What
up.
was the best win on their schedule last year?
Let me pull it back up. I remember looking at it, I was like, well, that's
Home against Ball State. Maybe their
a solid win.
They played the easiest schedule known to man last year. This is like the biggest sneaking into a bowl game of all time.
Beat UMass against these are the easiest games possible, and Howard shouldn't even count. So yeah,
They beat So they beat Massachusetts. They beat UMass, Howard. Home against Ball State, home against Kent State, home against Akron and Buffalo. They played the 4 worst.
you could argue
in the
those
conference.
are you could argue those are 6 of the 10 worst teams in the country.
In the country.
In the country, that's crazy. Yeah, they got lucky, and that's not happening this year. They have some tougher games.
That being said, I think they did improve. Creighton's back for his 11th season as head coach. I don't care that both quarterbacks transfer because I think Cole Snyder's an upgrade.
Yeah, I agreed with that. That this is an upgraded quarterback.
Okay, so they bring in Cole Snyder through the transfer portal to play quarterback. He spent 2 years with Rutgers, 2 years with Buffalo. So this is a guy with experience. Eastern Michigan, as trash as they were last year and as bad as they were at quarterback with Austin Smith, they're coming into this season with one of the most experienced quarterbacks in the conference. So Cole Snyder, definitely an upgrade through the portal. I like what they did at quarterback. They also, I don't know if you saw, they also brought in a quarterback from Minnesota, freshman. I would imagine that's their guy for 2025 though.
Yeah, that's a guy for the future. This is Cole Snyder's team this year. You've seen, I think Oregon did that too. They had Dylan Gabriel and Dante Moore. Some teams will bring 2 in and tell the guy like, look, you're going to sit behind somebody who's pretty good, but you're going to learn a lot and develop. So yeah, that's that situation.
Got it. They did lose both their running backs, but they added 2 in the portal. So that should be every bit as good. So that no drop off there. They actually brought in a running back and a receiver from NC State, both. I would imagine they're friends. So I even skill positions might be an upgrade. They did lose their leading wide receiver, but like I said, Eastern Michigan kind of killed it in the transfer portal, man. They lost 3 starters in the offensive line, but they brought in a kid they like through the portal. Look, the offense, Eastern Michigan's offense will be significantly better. You want to know how I know that I'm dead ass right about that? Because they couldn't possibly get any worse than they were last year. They were so bad. Like, go to their offensive numbers from last year, Prop Fever. They were one of the worst offenses in the country last season. So they got to upgrade at quarterback. I think they're going to be upgraded at the skill positions, and offensive line should be about the same. So offense is going to be better. That being said, I don't really know what I think about the defense. I mean, they lost. This was the strength of the team last year, was their defense. But I mean, it's not like the defense was even that good. It was okay. They played one of the easiest schedules in the country, and they put up okay defensive numbers doing it. They pretty much lost their entire secondary. I mean, they brought back a couple pieces on the defense. They brought in a couple pieces that they like through the portal. A couple of the main guys on the defensive line, but as a whole, this is the strength of the team, and there's definitely some left to be desired here. I think the defense could take a step backwards. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I agree. I was surprised. I mean, they had a top 30 in success rate in pass defense, so that's pretty good. But
look at the quarterbacks they played last year.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be because of that. I mean, it's weird because on their offensive side, you look at their run defense, their run offense, it was like slightly less red. So they did have a little bit of talent there, losing them. But I thought they filled in their holes pretty perfectly, bringing in Power 5 running back, no matter if they played or didn't play. Somebody who's recruited as a Power 5 running back at NC State. That's a pretty big pickup for a smaller school like this. So with this team, it's kind of the same thing. I think they plugged in the positions that they lost. They obviously, like you said, they benefited from the schedule, but I think plugging in those players is huge for this team because they couldn't get worse. They could only get a little bit better, and that's kind of how I feel about them.
Yeah. Now, the way I'm thinking, looking at a week 1 bet, August 31st, Eastern Michigan on the road in UMass, over 49.5.
See, I have looked at UMass up and down, and I think the over in that game actually should hit because neither team has very good defenses. But I think it is an 0-1 start for EMU, actually.
You think? It definitely is.
For EMU, not for UMass.
No, I know. I think UMass wins that game also.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's do that. Let's do the win-loss game. Let's get the schedule up there.
And because of the way their schedule was built last year, they didn't have a loss in their non-conference like that. But week 2 they decided to get a little cute, and it probably should result in could be an 0-2 start.
What do you mean could be an 0-2? Yeah, it's probably
well, I mean, the UMass game people will look at as a toss because UMass in theory isn't a very good team either. They're over 3.5, so they're not looked at as a very highly team. That's a coin toss, but the Washington loss obviously is, and Jacksonville State too.
No, I think they could beat Jacksonville State. I think how about this? They'll take one of Jacksonville State or UMass.
Yeah,
give them one.
I could see that.
One win. They'll beat St. Francis. That's 2.
I hope so.
I think they beat Kent State.
Yeah. Even at Kent State, I really don't think that team's gonna win a conference game. So
3, home against Miami Ohio is probably a loss.
Yeah.
Home against Central Michigan, probably a loss. At Akron,
they could go into Akron and win that game. They're both kind of similar teams. They're we're waiting to kind of.
They'll have the more experienced quarterback.
Yeah.
All right, we'll give it to them, I guess. What does that put us at? 4?
Yeah, 4.
At Ohio's a loss. Home against Buffalo's winnable. That's 5.
That one's a revenge game too. That's a win. They're gonna win that one.
Yeah, but if you want to play, that's the revenge game.
It's a revenge game for them too. Yeah.
Well, no, it's a revenge game. Okay, you're going to give them Buffalo because of the revenge game. Then going on the road in Akron and going on the road in Kent State should be losses if you're playing the revenge game.
I was just saying a revenge game for Snyder.
I think they beat either UMass or Jacksonville State, and they beat St. Francis. So we're looking at 2-2 heading into Kent State. And then so the question is, can we find 3 more wins? 1, 2, 3.
I think they won 5. I have them down as 4-5 because I think that
that doesn't tell us much. The total's at 4.5.
Yeah, so I'd probably lean toward 5 because I think they'll pull away in one of those games.
Yeah, let's go over.
In the probably the Buffalo game or
the quarterback experience will steal him a game.
A quarterback that has MAC experience too, so he's played in all these games before, basically just in a different uniform. Yeah, I like this. I thought they improved enough to where I'm they're not going to win as many games as they win last year because of their schedule, but they plugged in the holes they needed, so they're not a bad team.
All right, let's move on to the next game.